Hello and welcome to Friday's programme.
Coming up tonight between now and 6:30. Good evening. A waste management company has been fined nearly £250,000 after one of its employees was run over and killed by his own skip lorry, which then crashed into the side of Derriford Hospital.
Viridor pleaded guilty to failing to provide an adequate risk assessment of the site where Lee Jane died in 2015. Nick Smith is at Derriford Hospital for us this evening. Nick. Next on this evening's programme, a woman from Cornwall who has been refused a passport says she's determined to be recognised as a British citizen. Mary-Ann Asprey from Porthtowan came to the UK from Canada with her adoptive parents and has lived here for 47 years.
Well, she did have a British passport in the 80s, which has now expired. When she tried to renew it, the Home Office told her she had no claim to British citizenship. Kathy Wardle has more. A murder investigation is underway after a body was found at a house in Penzance.
A coroner has ruled that the death of a 15-year-old schoolgirl in Torquay was drug-related. Leah Kerr.
Now, there's a warning tonight about the dangers of tombstoning on Plymouth Hoe. In recent years, a number...
Parents of youngsters with physical disabilities have been protesting in Taunton this morning. They are angry.
Now you're watching ITV News here in the West Country with John T and Kylie. Thanks for joining us this evening. Plenty more still to come on tonight's programme, including...
And after us, the ITV News will continue with the national and the international stories at 6:30. Here's Alistair Stewart with the details.
Well, what a difference the weather has made over the past few days. We were talking on the programme just last week about the effect the snow and rain has had on the farming industry.
Yes, sowing crops has been delayed and many farmers have had to keep livestock indoors for much longer and at great expense because the ground has been so saturated. This week at last, cows have finally been put out to grass. Here's Bob Cruz.
They certainly looked happy about that, didn't they?
As a farmer's son, I've seen it a few times.
Yeah.
It is a great sight.
Yeah, it is. Now, next tonight, nurses have been spending a day in their pyjamas at hospitals, including Musgrove Park in Taunton, as part of a project to encourage patients out of their pyjamas and into their day clothes. Yes,
the aim is to speed up recovery times by getting people out of bed and active. Medics who have trialled the idea say it does bring about results. Helen Ford has this report. Now, have you voted in the People's Projects yet? Don't worry, the full details of how to do so are coming up. Just to remind you, it is a special collaboration between ITV and the Big Lottery Fund, where we give away up to £50,000 to 3 good causes across the West Country.
You have until midday on the 30th of April to vote, and to give you a little more food for thought, here's the final project. Sound Life is a jamming station in Totnes, a music group for young people. They want to encourage even more to get involved.
Now it's time to turn our attention to the weekend's sport, and in football, Exeter City are a club making the news. They've been told today that they will receive up to £2.5 million from Chelsea for teenager Ethan Ampadu, and with Arsene Wenger set to leave Arsenal, it means the Grecians' manager Paul Tisdale will become the longest-serving manager in the Football League.
Well, City are current.
So it goes without saying, important matches coming up for Exeter City. That's also the case for Plymouth Argyle as they look to move back into the League One.
Rugby briefly, and Exeter Chiefs and Cornish Pirates both have the weekend off, but...
Now, double Commonwealth Games silver medalist Matthew Dixon returned to Plymouth today after his success on the Gold Coast in Australia. Dixon...
It certainly is cool. Did you notice that Matthew Dixon was still wearing his medals?
Yeah.
I don't think he's taking them off.
No, probably
Why would
not.
you? Now, the replica of Sir Francis Drake's ship, the Golden Hind, has failed to reach its guide price of around £200,000 at auction today in Exeter. The vessel...
And we'll keep you posted with what happens. Now, it is nearly time to get the all-important weekend weather forecast. Let's hope there is plenty more sunshine in store.
Yeah, let's hope so. But first, let's cross live to Grace Pascoe, who's on Gillingvays beach in Falmouth for us this evening. I mean, Grace, it's looking very busy and very warm. How is it out there?
Well, there's a very slight sea breeze, but it is warm and it is sunny. There are a few people in the sea and hundreds on the beach doing all sorts, barbecues, having fun with friends. And it was a similar story at Pra, or Prey as some people call it, Sands earlier, where there were around 30 surfers in the sea, all of them wearing wetsuits. I'm now going to join Aaron, who's about to light his barbecue. So Aaron, can you tell me what's on the menu for this evening?
We've got some sausages, some burgers, just gonna crack some beers open, have a good time.
Brilliant. And have you been enjoying the weather all day then?
Yeah, we came out about midday, got ourselves a nice spot on the beach, just been soaking up some rays.
That's brilliant. And is this the first barbecue of the season for you?
No, we tried earlier in the year. Weather wasn't as good as it is now though, so hoping for a better turn this time.
Brilliant. And are you tempted to go in the sea at all?
We're going to try it in a bit, hopefully it's not too cold. Is what it is though.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us, Aaron. Now, at Gillingvace Beach, it's flanked on either side. So Pendennis Castle is over on this side. And on the other side, if you spin round and join me over here, you can look right out to the Lizard Peninsula and even beyond.
Grace, it's looking lovely there. I'm not sure what those people are doing in those stripy t-shirts.
No, I had no idea.
No.
Either way, looks absolutely stunning.
It does.
Very jealous that people are on the beach this evening. We're stuck here in the studio.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we will be able to get over to the sunshine over the course of the weekend. Bob has the full forecast for the few days ahead. Bob, thanks very much indeed. Before we go, let's remind you of the main headlines here in the West Country this Friday evening. And
that's it from us this Friday evening. The late news is the usual time of 10:30 this evening.
next, the ITV News will continue with Alistair Stewart, but we'll leave you this Friday evening with beautiful shots of the sunshine